Samsung Galaxy S27 Series leak. New Pro model could change. Everything for camera fans. The Samsung Galaxy S27 Series is still a long way off, with an expected launch window in early 2027. But new leaks are already hinting at some of the biggest lineup changes we've seen in years. If the latest rumors are accurate, Samsung could introduce a brand new Pro model positioned between the Plus and the Ultra end. It may come with a camera setup that surprises even longtime Galaxy Ultra users instead of the usual three-model structure. The Galaxy S27 lineup is rumored to expand into 4 phones: the Samsung Galaxy S27, Galaxy S27 Plus, Galaxy S27 Pro, and Galaxy S27 Ultra. That alone suggests Samsung may be rethinking how it separates power users from ultra enthusiasts, especially when it comes to photography and performance. And now, one specific camera rumor is getting a lot of attention. The Galaxy S27 Pro might actually deliver a more useful telephoto camera than the Galaxy S27 Ultra, at least for everyday photography. Galaxy S27 Pro versus Galaxy S27 Ultra. Telephoto camera rumor explained according to the latest leak. Both the Galaxy S27 Pro and Galaxy S27 Ultra could feature a 50MP telephoto camera, but with different zoom levels. Samsung Galaxy S27 Pro 50MP telephoto with 3.5x optical zoom. Samsung Galaxy S27 Ultra 50MP telephoto with 5x optical zoom. On paper, the Galaxy S27 Ultra still sounds more powerful, because higher optical zoom usually means better long-range shots. For subjects far away like stage performances, wildlife, or distant travel scenes, 5x optical zoom is typically more flexible than 3.5x. But real-world photography isn't only about maximum zoom. It's about the zoom level you use most often, and for a lot of people, 3x to 4x is the sweet spot. Why a 3.5x? Telephoto lens can be better for daily photography. Here's the key point. A 3.5x telephoto lens is often closer to the ideal focal length range for portraits and everyday step-in zoom photos. It gives you that natural perspective that flatters faces, avoids wide-angle distortion, and produces a more pleasing separation between subject and background. For portraits, a mid-telephoto zoom can feel more camera-like for a few reasons. More natural facial proportions. Wide lenses can subtly stretch facial features when you're too close. A 3.5x lens lets you stand farther back while keeping the subject framed nicely, which tends to look more flattering. Cleaner background compression. Telephoto lenses compress the background, making it look smoother and more cinematic, especially in street portraits and casual people photos. Better portrait framing without relying on heavy cropping. A dedicated 3.5x optical zoom can give you the framing you want immediately. That can be more consistent than using a 5x lens and then stepping backward, which isn't always possible, or using digital zoom, which can reduce detail. This is why the Galaxy S27 Pro telephoto rumor is interesting. It hints that Samsung might be building a phone specifically tuned for the shots people actually take most: portraits, food, pets, candid moments, and travel photography, where 3x to 4x zoom is often the most practical. So, is the Galaxy S27 Pro telephoto actually better than the Ultra? It depends on what better means. If you care about portraits, people, photography, and casual zoom, 3.5x could absolutely feel better in daily use. Many users don't shoot at 5x as often as they think. A 5x lens is fantastic when you need reach. But for closer subjects, it can sometimes feel too tight. And there's another practical issue with higher zoom telephoto cameras. When you want something like a 3x portrait look, but the camera's native lens is 5x, the phone may have to either crop in from the main camera or crop out from the 5x telephoto, or blend multiple cameras through computational processing. All of that can work. And Samsung's processing is often excellent, but a dedicated lens closer to your target framing can still deliver more consistent sharpness and detail. Why the Galaxy S27 Ultra's 5x zoom still matters a lot even if the Galaxy S27 Pro ends up being the portrait favorite. The Galaxy S27 Ultra is still expected to be Samsung's no-compromise flagship. The Ultra line typically wins overall because it combines the best camera versatility with the strongest hardware. 5x optical zoom telephoto lens has major strengths. True long-range clarity when you want to capture distant subjects, architecture details, wildlife, mountains, or stage performances. 5x optical zoom is a huge advantage over mid-telephoto zoom. Better quality at high zoom levels. Phones don't just stop at optical zoom. People use 10x, 20x, even higher. Starting at 5x optical generally helps the phone deliver better results across higher zoom ranges. More ultra style. Flexibility. Ultra phones usually add more camera features and modes that power users expect better stabilization, more advanced zoom algorithms, stronger sensors, and potentially additional telephoto hardware. So while the Pro might win for a specific style of photography, the Ultra is still likely to be the best overall camera phone. In the Galaxy S27 series, especially if Samsung continues its tradition of packing the Ultra with the most complete camera system. Samsung Galaxy S27 Series. What the Pro model could mean. The most exciting part of this leak isn't just the 3.5x versus 5x zoom debate. What the Pro model represents for Samsung's strategy. A Galaxy S27 Pro could become the photography-first option for users who want premium performance and a serious camera, but don't necessarily want the biggest, most expensive Ultra model. If Samsung prices it aggressively and gives it meaningful upgrades like a high-end chipset, better cooling, and improved cameras, it could attract buyers who usually feel forced to choose between a standard model and an Ultra. In other words, the Galaxy S27 Pro could be Samsung's attempt to create a more balanced flagship, powerful, premium, and camera-focused. Without going full Ultra. Why this leak should be taken carefully. It's important to keep expectations realistic. The Galaxy S27 series launch is expected in early 2027, which means specs can change multiple times before final hardware is locked. Telephoto quality depends on far more than megapixels and zoom level. If both phones use a 50MP telephoto, real performance will depend on sensor size, lens quality, and aperture stabilization, OIS quality. Samsung's image processing, how well it handles low light, how it blends zoom between lenses. So the Pro is better than Ultra claim really comes down to execution. A 3.5x lens can be perfect for portraits, but only if Samsung pairs it with the right sensor and processing. Galaxy S27 Pro versus Ultra, which one should you be excited about? If you love portraits and people photography, the Galaxy S27 Pro rumor is worth watching. A 3.5x telephoto could be the kind of detail that makes a phone feel smarter, not just more powerful on paper. If you want the best overall flagship experience, maximum zoom reach, top-tier features, and the most complete camera package, the Galaxy S27 Ultra will likely remain the safest bet for most buyers, as it usually is. For now, the biggest takeaway is simple. The Samsung Galaxy S27 series could bring a major lineup change, and the rumored Galaxy S27 Pro may become the surprise camera favorite for everyday photography, especially if Samsung tunes it for portraits and real-world shooting. What would you prefer? A 3.5x telephoto built for portraits, or a 5x telephoto built for long-range zoom?